11th is basically are discussing on the topic that is city creation. City creation basically are discussing this topic, that is this file. So one of the person told that IITs basically groups are created how basically. So for that basically this diagram is enough basically. Here basically we will change this one college basically launched one degree. This degree is basically IIT assume that basically, that which is created from 20 cities, and they basically gets 90%. Then basically they are connecting to these blood cells. If they are getting this, then that blood cells. So this diagram basically the governments are going to pick, and they are going to select the people basically for the project. So you can just imagine basically the things. So this everything basically is management skill basically. So the base of the management is this only basically. One of the person told that this is the base of the management, and I have never seen this type of management. One of the person told that also. This is the base of management. I have never seen this type of management. So this see the management skill basically. This is see the management skill basically. See the management skill. And this is the very dangerous diagram. We just now basically we are seeing this 90 percentage he got, and he connected to this blood group basically, and tracking that basically you have to create, because it's a very dangerous world basically. One person told that one person can think beyond the beyond the IITs and IM basically. So IITs and IM group basically might finish that particular boy also basically. So the college groups are basically who are basically who from where basically had done the study. They have to track that particular person basically. Otherwise basically the IITs group will kill them basically, because they will take that say that basically अरे यार इसने तो here basically has not done IITs and IM also basically, and he basically is telling he is basically ordering us basically. How basically can order us basically? So, but that is basically the negative part basically. The positive part is basically the things basically. Just one of the person told that यार AIDS जो है that basically have only few cities basically. That also need to do the investment basically. Otherwise basically the AIDS people basically will get dose. In dose basically he will die basically. In dose basically his body will die. He will basically get heart attack, this attack, eye will get damaged, head will get damaged. Each and every parts will get damaged basically. So you can just imagine things basically which is already created. So see the management series. And this is the examples basically with one banking project. So this line basically is connected with the banking project. So government have basically certain projects basically in the pipeline. In the pipeline basically which is connecting to this percentage, and this percentage are connected to these blood groups. This diagram. So you can just imagine basically one of the person told that business is equal to education basically has converted into business. That is 100% sure, because the investment is also see basically investment also seen basically, because here basically I am taking one example. One degree equal to created from 20 cities. So one degree is what basically? That is here basically we are taking as a IITs and IIMs. So they have done the 20 cities creation investment basically. So that is basically not done by the that might possible that the private group basically might have done. But private group basically can do the investment basically. They basically take the money from the government only. So government have to keep to giving the, and government basically are giving back the money to the investment investor also basically are giving the money to back to the investor also. That is the businessman basically. So you can just imagine basically, see the creation, see the management skill basically. So this is also thing basically. So this is the biggest management. Here basically the software companies are basically having 1 crore project. So 1 crore projects are directly connecting to these 100 blood groups. 100 blood cells which is created from 1000 cities. And 1000 cities are equal to what basically? It contains IITs, it contains MBA college, it contains hospital, it contains cities, it contains swimming pool, it contains buildings, it contains infotech park, it contains thousands of buildings, it contains thousands of apartments, it contains marriage hall, it contains Supreme Court, it contains High Court, it contains each and every buildings, it contains mall, it contains everything. So see basically the management. One of the person told that this type of management basically I had never seen basically. If this manage basic this one any of the person basically can create this data science project, then he will be the richest person basically on the software industry basically. And this type of project basically does not exist. That basically even the energy company basically might not be existing this project basically. So if any software company basically will create the project, this project basically, he will be the richest software company basically. But to create that basically you should have very dangerous information basically. That basically I had taken the example basically. This if one person basically told that basically I want to do the modular coding basically, then which things basically he have to do basically. So that basically is the new way of thinking of software company owners and software companies CEOs and software company project managers and software companies vice presidents. This is the new way of thinking basically. And if this way basically the companies thinks, then they basically will do the good level of constructive work basically. That basically the big software companies are doing basically. Big software companies have the perfect data basically. That's why basically they are big companies. No? There should be some basically difference between big company and small company. Their CEOs, their vice president, their managers, their senior software delivery heads, they are basically doing this everything. They are up to that level. So you can just imagine. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.